guys, I am Chris Kaler.
And I'm Amber Foss from Kyuujin, and today we are back at guys with The Fall of the House of Usher.
Episode 3.
Yeah.
Murder at the RUE MORGUE. Something like that?
Yeah, murder at the RUE MORGUE.
Yes. So last episode we saw how Perry, the youngest of the siblings, died. His idea for a club didn't go with his father, so he decided to hold a party himself in an old abandoned building that used to belong, well, still belongs to the company. He planned for a rave, he wanted to make money, he also wanted to record the people there and sell the information later. Like, he wanted to prove himself, and he had this idea of just making it rain in the building at one point and they would just go crazy nuts. He met the red woman.
Having sex under the rain, yeah.
Yeah, he met the woman in red, Vera. He doesn't know her name, but still, she was the devil in red. She kind of warned him that there were consequences to the things he was doing, but he still went with it. He did his thing, he made it rain, and well, he and the people in the building burned to death because it was acid. Or some sort of chemical that burned them all.
Well, it was an acidic chemical, so yeah.
Yeah, so we know now how the first one died. We have, again, this crazy theory that Vera is basically the devil or death itself.
Yeah.
She's not necessarily there to kill anyone. She's there to, you know, she's the embodiment of death. She gave him a choice. He went with the death.
Yeah,
death part of it.
Frederick's wife is also there.
She wasn't at the party.
Because she chose to stay.
Yeah.
To enable her own desire.
So my take is we're gonna get one death per episode until the end, sort of. So yeah, I guess let's jump in this episode and see who dies next.
I'm betting on Victorine because that's where she's worked, right?
She does work, but again though, I remember seeing her photo at the last funeral, so she could be dying later.
True.
We will see. So let's jump in this episode and see what happens next. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more of these episodes, and check out our Patreon for the full-length reactions.
In the meantime, let's go.
Still makes me uncomfortable, all the animal testing.
Yeah.
When we set them free and they tear someone apart.
Oh, yeah.
Consequences to what you're doing.
Yes, sir. Yes.
That's the aftermath, yeah.
Don't touch anything.
He's pumping himself up for what he's about to see. Is he there to get the body?
Or maybe to get confidential information, maybe. Oh.
You would have... Oh, that would be terrible.
Yeah.
Having to walk in that and...
Be strong. You have the force in you. You can do it. Oh.
Cameras.
Yeah.
Well, he was recording for
But
blackmail.
yeah, he is there for the confidential information.
How would you know, like, that's him? He's good at faces, because I would not recognize him at all.
He knows them through and through. Okay?
Such a difference between the party from last episode and now death. Oh, fuck.
That's the wife.
Is it?
Yes, it is. That's her dress. That's her dress.
What happens in an accident? Just a terrible accident.
I mean, I don't even want to call her lucky.
Your brother is dead.
Dead, Perry, got it.
He doesn't
Call the
care.
other kids. The sun's gonna come up soon.
You're right, we need to close ranks. Bring him in.
Oh, it makes everything worse at once. The investigations, the lawsuits.
That's all they care about. Not even that he's dead.
Camille, our brother just died.
Half-brother.
You fucking cunt.
He didn't deserve to die like that. How come you didn't know about the party?
He didn't invite his sister to the orgy. Just his sister-in-law? Yeah, I have no idea how I'm going to keep that down. Somebody will notice that Morella Usher doesn't have skin anymore.
Okay, that's enough.
Leave the PR to me.
Your father feels that this has to come from outside the family.
It's the opposite. He's wrong because Perry Usher died horribly last night in a preventable accident. That's public sympathy.
How to use his death for the company.
Okay. What would you do?
24 memorial profile pieces to start.
She was insulting him
Turn him into jail.
last 2
Junior, we
episodes.
can get,
Yeah, but that's an opportunity
GQ,
to
a
make
CP,
headlines in
a
their
CPA,
favor.
get his face
I know.
on the checkout aisle. Get his old friends telling their like best stories. Like, remember when he financed those village schools in India and Africa?
No.
That's why we have a charity wing, dummy, so you can paste someone's face on it. We remember that he did it, so he did it.
This is bullshit.
Any attack or
Oh, I gotta say, they all deserve to die.
We know what loss is. We grieve with you, so you grieve with us.
She's good at their job, I will say that.
They are. We have a week. Seconds count. I am running out of time. I've wasted too much time already.
Okay, you're up.
You wonder why people hate us. Do this right here? This is why.
Actually, no. If you're wondering how this family built its multi-billion-dollar empire, this is why. That's why they hate us, not because we grabbed the opportunity.
All of them
because
are
they
right.
didn't.
That's freaking awful.
She's right, but that's why it sucks because it's
Yeah.
reality. But then again, I console myself by saying when she dies, it's gonna be the same.
You're supposed to take that fucking building down.
And the permits.
If you had done what I said,
Can we talk about this somewhere
you
else?
did this.
Oh, nice. You're responsible for your brother's death. And the fact that your wife got no skin.
Throwing the blame around.
Should
The
never
fact that they showed her hearing that it was his fault and stuff.
Yeah.
We'll see how that affects the whole dynamic, but
Okay.
I still have my theory that if there is an informant, it could be her.
What have you got?
The Perry charity thing is sticking.
I'm not talking about that bullshit. I'm talking about the real stuff. What'd you get on Victorine?
And that's what's important,
Informant.
of course.
The problem is with the livestock count.
What do you mean?
I mean, the numbers don't work. There's animals missing.
Don't tell me she's fucking monkey.
Track when an animal death is when the animal is supposed to have survived a procedure.
The inventory dumps a day or two later. The rumor is that she swaps them out. A chimpanzee dies on the table. Rumor is she pulls another.
Makes it look like it was a success.
And
Wow.
claims that the animal survived.
So that she can say that she succeeded at something and she's making advancement.
She'd have to get rid of the other one.
The rumor is that she cuts them up after hours
Oh.
and carries them out in pieces.
You think that's
Okay.
real?
I think it is real.
She could be dying
I'm
today.
really sorry for your loss.
She doesn't give a shit. She's moved
No.
on.
She doesn't care.
Huh? Who died? Oh, yeah, that's right. Some of them seem to care more than others.
Well, Victorine and Napoleon.
Babe, honestly, I was just hoping for lunch.
No. I got 2 more to see and then I'm all yours. We'll hunker down.
I don't know why, but I'm pretty sure that she's gonna die. The girlfriend.
Like I said last episode, we don't know if the significant others are meant to die too, but they were not at the funeral.
It's okay.
Pressure is too much.
Yeah.
It's a sick environment for all of them, and if what we talked about last episode is real,
I'm sorry.
Hey!
well,
I'm all turned around. I was supposed to give this to the receptionist, but she's gone and I can't find anybody. It's got all my information. I don't care
She's really
who
good.
knows about my heart issues, but
she's gonna get a possible live subject.
Oh no.
It's a choice, it's an opportunity. Is she taking it?
yeah, just regular heartbeats.
Well, I can take this. You go sit down.
You work here?
Yeah, I work with Dr. Ruiz.
This is gonna turn on her.
Of course, that's the whole point.
Imagine she's gonna open up her girlfriend.
Like, she sees someone else and it's,
Yeah.
oh, maybe.
That would be fucked up.
Like, the point is not to kill them, but she's falling in the fucking trap because pressure, need to perform.
Moses, perfect like you.
Of course, that's the gain right there. It's gonna be that for everyone. She's gonna give them a choice.
Oh no.
Do you know that Tammy and Frederick call us the bastards? You, me, and Perry?
Arabic.
No, fuck Vic. How old were you when you met the old man?
18.
That's right. I was 20. He was just so little when he showed up. Perry.
He was 16 when he found out. Rags to fucking riches.
No wonder he was fucked up. You start thinking any of this is reality, you'll just slip into the abyss.
I stayed out a lot. I make video games.
Well, it changes the dynamic a little bit. They didn't grow up in the family.
I make video games.
You give money to people who make video games. We don't make shit. I just spin.
So they're not great. The people that are with are great though.
Smoke and mirror. I spin and I don't go anywhere. Ushers don't make stuff.
They take, right?
They delegate. They're the face of the company.
Oh, fuck this.
You got a cat?
She's mine.
Cute baby. I hope nothing happens to the cat.
Yeah, but a little party. Take the mind of things since what Harry would have wanted.
Yes, that's my cue to go.
How did they manage to go and do anything? They are so broken.
What is it?
Another one. Right there.
Who's next?
It's her. She's dying today.
fuck.
Which is interesting because it's the other one. It's Victorine who's got the meeting with Vera.
Yeah.
Like she's got big lashes on her face.
But maybe she's gonna be get open.
It doesn't look like someone surgically opened her.
There are days when I wish I had never stumbled on that little pill. I was a bit naive. You can't help it when you're young. You assume the chemist isn't lying about the addictive properties. You assume.
What? I have this image of it. One of the chimps that just goes crazy and because she could be looking into that.
Oh yeah, she could be drawn up by one of the monkeys.
He's well, he is sick.
Yeah. You talk about dementia, right?
Yep. Hallucinations from the sickness and stuff. And the guilt is probably intense too.
Ligadon, it's a lot of things. I'm just as much a victim of it as anybody else. I'm a middleman. But it's not my drug.
This is my drug. I found the chemist. I walked this in here and you passed. Now what's this bullshit about Fortunato buying Landor Pharma?
Yeah, you change your speech now?
Well, that's how that works. If you're not careful, people can steal your ideas. He's gonna know all about that in a few years.
Ligadon? The fucking gold mine.
They're gonna find a way to get him off. They might have killed him.
Me and Metzer, we papered a deal.
Yeah, well, he developed Ligadon at Landor. They own it. Metzer doesn't own anything. He wasn't at liberty to make that deal.
And of course, he's gonna jump on the opportunity. There's no feelings in business.
It's all done. And no, Rod, I didn't come to you because, well, who exactly are you in this equation? What did you think was going to happen? You couldn't lock down Metzer. You can't lock down Ligadon. You can't do anything because you don't have any juice.
Don't push him. He and his sister.
Yet. Here's something that you do have, okay? You have my gratitude.
Fudge you.
And that can be an asset.
They're gonna kill him.
You know, if you're smart, you realize what else my gratitude is worth.
Low-key, it's bullshit, but it is also a lesson.
Good manager's gonna want to keep people with good ideas around. And now you're thinking, is he grateful enough to want to promote me? And the answer is yes.
He's basically teaching him to plan things out and just see in the future. Don't trust anyone.
You will start
Manipulate.
to figure out that you have got an angle here that takes you closer to where you want to go.
Cool shot.
Or do you want to yell at me some more and find yourself out on the street?
It's the way business works. He just needs to learn about it the hard way and then manipulate it. Because that's the thing. He doesn't want to just stay the guy that gives ideas and gets nothing.
That's the thing with big corporate. When you're one of the little guy, the boss's security and say they're their own.
It's the history of inventions. You are not gonna be okay for your appearance and your speech and stuff like.
Oh, what happened?
I don't know.
Did he kill the cat?
I think he probably did. He said fuck that like when he jumped on him. Oh, I hope. Oh shit. It escaped him. It's the fact that they look so much like Kaz. Our little baby cat.
Camille, please
Something's
don't
up.
talk to me until I've come at least twice.
That part of this is not happening.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I've got to hear this.
It just happened.
Don't minimize it. We're together now, and it's serious.
You're in love.
They have a right.
Yeah,
Oh, God, my fucking day. You both signed NDAs. Both also, you'll recall, signed consent forms.
That say they have to do that? Did you guys sign that?
Abuse of power.
I'm just gonna Venmo you your severance.
Well, we're not quitting. We just needed you to know.
No, you're fired because you're all but useless to me now.
Is that even legal?
Depends. Was it in their contract that they needed to perform sexual act with their boss?
Well, yeah.
I don't
Did you at
think
least get the hookup on Vic?
For real.
you just fired them. They're
It's
not
still-
obligated to
no.
tell you.
It
Deal with it
just,
yourself.
yeah. But she's so obsessed with this story, like,
You're late. Oh.
Oh, fuck.
we're gonna hype things up with everyone now. Like, we're moving.
Smells terrific. I almost texted to ask if you'd do your chicken piccata. It's like you knew.
She's nailing it, because of course she's not.
I just love you.
It's like she's truly speaking from her heart.
Yeah.
Let's not talk about Perry or the family or anything else. I just want to feel seen and do whatever we can to push the rest of that away. How was your day, Bill?
Oh my God, he's not used to that either. It's funny, I think it's seeing him be happy is what makes her, you know, turned on.
But why not with her then?
Well, we talked about this earlier in the last episode. We can talk about it again, but she started feeling it really when he started talking about his life.
Yeah.
It's just maybe he probably can't communicate with her.
Excuse me. This is a restricted
That's more
area.
now.
Yes, I know. You shouldn't be
Yeah,
here.
it's her.
I know who you are. You're the clever one. But you shouldn't be here. And you don't have to be here. That's all I was saying.
To let go of that obsession, I think, is her test.
But she won't.
Open the door.
For sure you're dying. Well, they are all dying, but...
Ah, they're seriously being thrown to death by monkeys.
Some people have gone through that.
I know.
Still don't know if that's how it happens, but it's a good possibility.
Yeah, she pull you full of adrenaline.
Oh.
Keep your little heart beating.
If they are full of adrenaline, yeah, they would be freaking out.
Oh shit. Oh shit.
Vic, you were so fucked.
Why do you hate her?
You know, it was the Greeks who started it. First experiments on animals. At least documented. Human beings doing this to so many other species. It's impressive. Why do you hate her? I mean, on paper, you should be allies. What an alliance you could have made.
You are so fucking fired.
90% of drugs fail in human trials. What about all the stuff that has nothing to do with health? You lot can't make a lipstick or a dandruff shampoo without making something suffer.
Fired is the wrong word, because I'm gonna have you fucking killed.
She's in the chimp almost, like...
The worst job to hide your true nature. You clean up dirt for a living.
Oh fuck.
Victorine, on the other hand, she picked better. Saving humanity, one heart at a time. Inside, though, you two are the most alike. You hate her because she hit it better. Right. She lies. You still didn't need to come here, though. It could have happened quiet, peaceful, in bed. I guess it's gotta happen like this.
Oh shit.
I'm sorry. It's not personal.
Yep, she is dead.
Wasn't with your brother either. Here we are.
Bye bye.
Fuck it. You got mine.
Whoa.
So it is confirmed she is dead.
Yeah. And from what she says, she would give them death no matter what. So it's not so much about choice, but the choice changes how it happens.
Oh shit.
The hand's like, ah!
Oh man.
No shit. Revenge.
Revenge of the Ape.
Damn.
Well, technically Victorine causes the death of her own sister.
Well, yeah, but the fact that Camille was so...
Okay, if you think about it, Roderick said that because Frederick didn't get rid of the chemicals, it causes the death of his own brother. Because Victorine was pumping the chimpanzee with adrenaline,
But she's
it
doing
causes
that.
the death
She's
of her
doing
own
that
sister.
because her dad is pushing for results.
Yeah,
Again?
the dad is all centered to everything, but indirectly they're all causing the death of their own brothers and sisters, all of them.
Yeah, but all of that, the beginning of that is the father, how he created this family. So yes, and directly now in this case, yes, she kind of created the circumstances, but she created those circumstances because of what her father made her do and what her father pushed her to do.
Yeah.
She's having panic attacks, Victorine, over the fact that she doesn't get to go further, like she doesn't get to show results, and she's stuck. And I mean, I could assume that she freaked out because of the brother situation, because Perry died, but I'm not gonna go there.
When you're the main face of a huge pharmaceutical
company, yeah,
empire, not the company, empire, you need to stay strong and to stay in control. So you cannot really crumble and be afflicted by grief and sadness. You know?
Yes, you can. That's being human.
That's not what the company needs you for, though.
No, the company could work fine if if they needed time to grieve, they turned around and they gave the job to people they trust while they grieve. It's still possible. You think that in the real world, well, I mean, I'm pretty sure that there are people like that in the real world, but in every company, if there's a tragedy, people just fucking no
Have you
no
seen
matter.
the video of one of the PR guy from the White House? His wife was in an accident and she died.
Yes, I know.
And his daughter
I've seen
and
it.
children were in the hospital. Something.
I've seen it, but it
And
doesn't mean that everyone is like that. Everyone, if you care about the person who dies, you can grieve. These people are not grieving. Some of them are shocked and maybe a bit sad, but they use that as either a reason to get fucked up, or they'll cry for a minute, and then as soon as their own personal objective or their own personal story is back in motion, well, whoop, they forget about the brother and they move on. Like they're not grieving. They'll pretend that they are affected. Some of them don't even try to pretend though. Camille didn't even try. She completely used that as...
No, I'm pretty sure that she didn't really care about it.
She never cared about him. Like, most of them assumed he was the one that was the informant to begin with. Frederick, we saw, was, of course, that makes sense, like, worried about his wife. But when he was notified that his brother was dead, he was just like, okay, moving on. And I think, like, Victorine and Napoleon are the ones that showed some sort of grief, or at least they were bothered by what was going on. But I think Victorine said it, like, we just lost our brother, just because she's so at odds with Camille that I think she needed to jab her.
To just say the opposite of what Camille was saying, yeah.
And, like, I'll go with the words of Verna, you say she's called now?
That's her name. That's always been your name.
I don't necessarily read the subtitles.
I do.
So Verna, she said it, like, both Camille and Victorine are the most similar, but Victorine hides it better behind that facade of the Mother Teresa. So it would make sense that she would pretend to care about what happened with Perry, but in fact she doesn't. And she's just saying that so that she doesn't seem as heartless as Camille, she was using that as a way to advance her career. Or, like, she said it herself, she can't really advance her career, but she can excel at it, and she's really good at it. She was, at least. So she used that as a way to shine in the eyes of her father and her aunt. It was her moment to do something, so she really went for it, especially since her dad didn't want her to take care of it. So she saw that as a challenge.
Yeah.
So she went for it, and she looked heartless. So Victorine, wanting to show that no, she's actually the better sister, and she has a heart, and Camille has not. She basically said, yeah, I mean, we lost someone. So from the perspective of the episode, when we watch it, it seems that Victorine has a heart, but I'm going with the words of Verna. I don't think she cares. I think she says that because of the image she's created for herself, which is that she cares. When she called Verna for the tests, I'm trying to help you. We actually have a space.
Yeah.
Like, she made it sound like it was the opportunity of a lifetime and that she was so lucky to get in on this. But deep down, like, we know, first of all, she's not ready for human tests.
She's way far ready to be ready for the human test trial.
And, like, she's been failing and faking those tests with the monkeys anyway, so there's no data that we can trust out of her experiments and stuff. And she would move on to a human test subject because she's so pressed for time, and her father is putting a lot of expectations on her. She's also a piece of shit. None of them are real. Like, and Napoleon right now, we don't really know. We haven't seen his episode yet, so there's much to discover about him, I'm sure. But he's the type of guy that when he's on drugs, he's willing to kill a cat because it bothers him. So there's probably a lot of darkness in him as well. We will see. There is one thing they mentioned in the episode which changes a little bit what I was saying so far. Some of them grew up with the father, so the first two who are born from his wife.
Tammy and Frederick.
Yeah, and the others were born out of marriage and found out that he was their dad when they were 16, 19, 20, something like that.
16, 18, and 20.
So most of them spent their childhood probably either in foster care or with their mom. And later they kind of learn, oh, okay, I'm actually part of that big family. So the sense of entitlement is not so much there anymore.
But they
maybe
need
with
to
the first
prove
two,
themselves more, maybe.
Maybe they feel that since they were not born into the family, they were kind of added later, even though they are blood. Maybe, that's even worse with the expectations. Like, they feel like they have to prove that they deserve to be acknowledged and be in this family. It would make them, for the ones that don't fit and stuff, it would make them feel like fraud, perhaps. But it would not give them necessarily a sense of entitlement. Like, I was talking about Perry when I said, like, oh, if you're born in a family like this, you have all these riches and stuff, you're gonna live to the fullest, use that because you can. Well, for him, it's like he finally gained access to it, so it's kind of like he was still in his in the bliss of, oh, I've got so much, so I can do whatever I want with it. So I think it's interesting. It also really explains why none of them have love for any other siblings. They don't know each other. They basically were added to the family later in life, so they didn't grow up together. It's easier to make enemies. Way easier. Especially like you figure out, oh, I have siblings and a father. You meet them, and right away you're
all of them are just piece of shit.
Yes, and you have to you learn that right away. You need to excel at what you do and stuff like
to make you worthwhile, basically.
Yeah, I mean, no wonder that they all are.
But
enemies.
I was surprised by the fact that technically none of them did on their own did something to change the world. It's always people that they associate with, like Tammy with her husband. Basically, Frederick, just like you said, a puppet. So just copying what his father is doing, what the company is doing.
Yep.
Victorine, our girlfriend. Napoleon, he hired people to do stuff for him.
Yeah. Pays them to make video games.
Yeah.
They are basically, all of them want to kind of show their father that they can do stuff and change the world, but none of them are actively doing anything. Like, their father and their aunt are the ones that had to work for this. They had to do the job. And by the way, like, even though I hated the speech that the boss gave Roderick.
It is
so
true to how the world works.
Yeah.
Works. Sorry.
And I love the scene because I think that he learns. I mean, Madeline told him to learn from that, and I think he did because when the boss is telling you, this is basically going to be your life from now on, like you're going to give me ideas and I'm going to do whatever I want with you, and you're basically going to spend the rest of your life sucking up, kissing my ass, so in the hopes that I upgrade you, but it all falls down on me. And like, oh, I'm giving you $500 for your words, like that's nothing. But then how much money are you going to make off of those words? It's bullshit. It's manipulation because he's making him feel like, oh, you get something and you got to see the possibilities for something else.
Because I allowed you to get something, basically.
Yeah, and he's kind of like, he's saying like, oh, don't piss me off because I have the power to, get rid of you. But you learn from that. This is how the company works. It's a backstabbing business where people don't feel for you. They don't care about you. It's business. I have a boss who actually told me that once after a review or something like.
You need to make your same seem valuable, irreplaceable, so that they want to keep you around and they trust you, so that they can say that you're someone and who they can trust and put responsibility.
It's, you gotta work your way up, kiss ass, because if you don't appear like the perfect employee, you're not going to get anything. But if you want to stay like that for the rest of your life, good. If you don't, if you want to move up, you got to do that in order to gain their trust, but be ready to backstab and gain any opportunity. Which I think, it seems like now we're in 79 and things are going to change at the company right before 1980.
I'm pretty sure that they killed the boss.
I feel like they killed the boss, but then again, like if they do that, how do they get the company after?
Probably, I mean, you got the big boss.
Is he gonna go up enough that if the guy dies, he can take his place?
Probably, yeah.
Maybe. That would be interesting, but we'll see. But in any case, in order to get what he wanted, he really had to work his way up and suffer and stuff. Whereas for the kids, and it's always differently, when you got the parent or whatever who starts from nothing and has to make their way up, and then you have kids who already have a lot from the beginning and they don't have to work for that initial wealth, but for them they have to work for the respect of their father. So there is something to do, but since they have all the tools, all the assets already, none of them is actually doing the work. So they're all stressing over this. They're all, they all want to be good in the eye of their dad. They all want to show him that they can do great. But since they have the money, they have the employees, and the scale of what they want to do is so big, none of them is actually taking classes, going to school. They don't have time for that. They're, again, walking all over those steps because they got to do this quick. So let's find the people that have the actual skills and have them do things. So basically they have the ego of, the rich company owners who, or I'll compare it to one of my previous bosses, the same guy who told me that, there's no emotions in companies. They like to walk around with the uniform for 5 minutes and take photo ops and say that they do the work, but then they'll take it off because they prefer their suit and their office and stuff. So they pretend that everything that happens is them, just like with Perry, like, oh, they pretend he's the one that gave all that money because it's good publicity, it's good PR. But really, he never did any of that shit, and it's not him who's responsible for all of that. It's crazy because their dad used to be in the position of the people that they manipulate. He used to be the one with the ideas, the one with the skill, and he got nothing in exchange.
You did well, young Padawan.
I mean, in the way it shows that he did well because
he learned well.
He's on the other side now. His kids can be the bosses that take the ideas of everyone else, and they're still the ones that make it seem like it was their idea or it was their success. It's a shitty world, business.
Yeah.
That's how it works. That whole speech about how to make money off of lemons, because when life hands you lemons, you make profit.
That was beautifully so wrong.
No, it was beautifully
but I mean
realistic.
This is so wrong, but it is so true.
Well, it's not necessarily wrong. Where it is wrong is because it's all based on lies.
I know. This is why. This is the wrong part. But this is how business just work. How you make something enticing and you just upgrade something. The value of something.
Kind of like with the drug, like he knew or he didn't know. He just assumed that what he was told, that there's no side effects or anything. There's no addiction. He assumes it's true, but he doesn't look further because the gain, like the prize at the end of it, it's better than the possibilities. You'd rather lie about it, make it seem like the dream, and people will buy it. You will have a lot of money, and when it gets too complicated, you get rid of it, and it's someone else's problem. Or you pretend, kind of like with the buildings, that if we do own it, we'll fire someone. We'll pretend that we're taking care of it, but really, like, we were aware that we were messing up. It's just that now that you found out, we need to take care of the problem.
I was surprised with Camille and her assistants. I thought that it might have been consensual, but she basically forced them to have a relationship with her.
It's not. No, she didn't force anyone.
I don't think that they were aware.
They signed a contract. NDA, like, that's basically like, okay, if you're about to be my assistant, this is what you'll have to do, and you can talk to anyone about it.
I know what is an NDA. I know what it is.
So what, they were aware, they signed it. I think it's just that they were desperate for an opportunity to have this job, and she took advantage of young people's need for money, need for a career, need for an opportunity, and she used them to...
She technically exploited.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's kind of what she does. Like, her whole job is to manipulate and keep face and just pretend. And she has, and the thing is, she's frustrated as fuck. Like, she wants more in life, but she was stuck in that position and she couldn't do shit. So I think that's why she was so motivated to go forward with her plan and with her investigation and stuff. She desperately wanted to prove that the ones that actually do more than her, the ones that can make advancement in the company, she wanted to prove that they were shit and they were lying. So you're proud of her because of what she's doing. Well, she's been lying to you. She wanted to prove something because she can do that. There's no proving anything when your job is just to keep face. Although she's really good at it. Was really good at it.
Not anymore.
She didn't keep face.
She got her photo. She doesn't have a face anymore.
She got her photo. There's that. But
is it me or the blood that at the end of it looks like a pot of tomato soup just exploded?
It's because, like, I think the idea behind it is that the blood spent the whole night there.
Yeah,
so
I know, but it was so orange.
Well, yeah.
Like, it's like you have a pot of lasagna and it just come.
And you saw the hands, like, she tried to flee and she was like, ah. But I mean, they're all frustrated in their own way, and they're all very emotionally immature, if you think about it. If you want to talk quickly about Tammy and her whole thing that's going on with her husband, she seems to be turned on when her husband is happy.
But why does she want to just witness it and not be part of it?
I think it's because I'm gonna go with, I think it's because she just does not know how to emotionally express herself. She is a control freak. She is businesslike all the time. She doesn't want to open up. She doesn't want to be vulnerable and stuff. So she pays someone else to be like her and be open and give that release to her husband. And this relationship...
He did seem really relieved about it.
Right? He was happy to talk naturally with someone, not make it seem that it was forced or anything, just talk about his day and be happy. And the more happy he was, the more turned on she was. So it's sad in a way because maybe deep down she cares.
I can't wait for her episode to really learn more about it.
Verna said something about her wanting to be seen. If she's the first daughter and she considers everyone else the bastards and stuff, we know that she's been saying, that she wants to prove to her father that the company can be run by a woman. So I'm assuming that she expected, or at least the family expected, her brother to be the next CEO or something, like the next
The next boss.
director, yeah, basically
Big
replace
boss,
his
yeah.
father, and she wants to prove that she can do it too. It's not because she's a woman that she can do shit. Like, she wants to be seen, she wants to be acknowledged, because it's kind of like people pass over her. And if she was the second best all her life, she wouldn't know really how to take her place and force people to see her. Kind of like Madeline. I think she wants to be more like Madeline, but she's not. You know, people don't listen to her. People don't depend on her as much as she wants. So she wants to prove them that she can do the job. But she goes through her husband. Like, it's almost like she wants to do it, but she can't. So she has to go through people, just like the others. But Verna said something about her wanting to be seen. In a way, she is witnessing a potential relationship between the fake her and her husband. But I think it's all about seeing vulnerability, seeing happiness, seeing emotion, but not being able to be a part of it because you gotta stay cold and stuff. If she's like her aunt, there's no emotions in there. We'll see.
We'll see. Maybe there's that also.
We need her episode to know more.
I wanna go back with Napoleon and his boyfriend. You asked me if I might know maybe why he didn't want to introduce his boyfriend to his family. They already know that Victorine is with a girl. Why would it be bothered that fact that he's with a man, you know?
I don't know. Maybe it's just because he's got many, many partners and he doesn't really give a shit. Doesn't want to make it official because he's not sure that that's the one for him. But then again, he lives with them, so I'm like... But the guys, we talked about this, every one of them wants more all the time. They are desperate for more partners, more sex, more drugs, more acknowledgement, more. It's all about, like, it's never enough. The whole family fucking
runs of never enough.
It's always like, we need more, it's not enough. So for him, it's kind of like, he needs to be intense, he needs to be bigger, he needs to have more people that are surrounding him, he needs more of a lot. But
no more cats, though.
When you take too much, sometimes you end up losing everything. So,
but it's not all sunshine and roses. Have you seen the boyfriend's face when he was talking about the party? It looks like
well, he stopped him from taking too much drug earlier. We saw him be like, oh, slow down. Like, I don't think he enjoys it, but and if he learns that what happened to his cat, he's definitely not going to enjoy it.
We're so over.
In any case, every episode is going to be more centered around one of the kids. So if we want to discuss them in depth, it's going to be in depth. Sorry, I can't speak today. It's going to be when we see their episode. But the gruesomeness of this show so far has been different from what we've seen in the others.
Yeah.
And I'm loving it because I love when horror shows don't shy away from the details. I also love psychological horror, but I do enjoy very much the gruesomeness. And when it's both, it's even better. So,
do you pity the sister-in-law, Mori? That's her name.
Who?
The sister-in-law, the one who her skin just all melt and she's in the hospital.
Yeah.
Do you pity her, or it's just she had it coming or something?
No. She went to a party. She didn't deserve any of this. But yeah, like Verna saying that, you know, it could have been peaceful and stuff makes me think that, she's gonna kill all of them. It is, so I'm going back to maybe the bargain thing that maybe they got the success that they had
but now they need to
in
pay
exchange. But it's just that the way it happens, they decide how it happens. So it could be peaceful. She could take them in their sleep. It could also be like, if she's deaf, it could also be like, oh, I would not have killed you right now in this way. I would have killed you way later when you're older in your sleep. Yeah. So it could be both. But in any case, it's always, I'm going to warn you, like, this could be your moment. Kind of like, it could even be like different. It's not so much about, like something happened with a dad. If it wasn't for the meeting with Verna when he was younger and Madeline was younger, I would almost think that it's just, when you're close to death, you're meeting your angel of death, and he's going to tell you, like, he's going to warn you about what's to come because your moment is about to happen, and you're at a crossroad where either it goes, you die, or you can keep on going.
Yeah, but no, since the dad already met her in the past in 69.
It's more, it would be more obvious that it was like a deal or something, or he did something back then with her there that set everything else in motion.
You know, it's kind of remind me of some stories when you're the one that make the bargains with the devil or with an entity, and you need to pay your due someday, but you're not the one that pay for it. It's just like your children paying
Well, he is paying for it. He's sitting with a lot of guilt, and he's seeing the ghosts of all his kids.
True.
He didn't die, but he's slowly dying, and his illness is making him hallucinate all the horrible stuff he's seen. And he's been seeing the pictures of his kids dead in HD,
True,
4K.
but I think that it's more of the Edgar and Poe flavor, you know? We technically talk about it in the car, but it looks like every episode does have the title of one of his stories. And yeah, it pretty much centered about the fact that the guilt centered, the paranoia, yeah.
Well,
So-
it is also at the center of the story Fall of House of Usher. So,
Yeah.
in any case, I'm loving this so far, and I can't wait for the next episode with more death and more gruesomeness. And I want to figure out what's going on with Verna. So I know the last episode is called The Raven, so this is when we'll learn everything. But in the meantime, we'll speculate.
Okay.
So thank you guys so much for watching this episode with us. If you want to see the next 2 episodes, they are on Patreon already. You can check them out. The link is in the description below.
And if you want to wait for the next death, it's going to be on YouTube next week. So you're going to see you then, guys.
Bye.
Bye.